When I downloaded this, it said it was released 2 days ago. So I think that was the release date of Quake RTX, and it was made by the same guy who made Doom RTX that we looked at earlier this year.
Oh, okay.
I thought
So-
the Doom RTX thing looked pretty good. Wow, can you believe it, Ryman? Look at all this ray tracing. Wow, wow.
That doesn't look ray traced.
Okay, you're right. This is ray tracing. This is ray tracing. I can toggle on the fly with F. Wow, wow, wow.
So Doom RTX, they used PR Boom Plus as its basis. Did
Yeah.
the author mention what port they used for this?
The vkQuake, is that something?
That makes sense. That's Quake but running on Vulkan.
Okay, I think I saw that mentioned. I also had to download like a separate thing to get DLSS support.
Does this work with the Steam version of Quake? Well, the Steam version of Quake would give you the data files you would need.
Yeah.
But you don't run this in the Steam version of Quake itself.
I want to fiddle with settings here because right now I'm running at the 1080p with DLSS set to performance mode. I wish it would show like what the real resolution is rendering at, because I mean I can definitely tell it is below 1080p. Like it does look rather like blurry. One thing I liked about the PR Boom RT is that you could change like presentation and render resolution separately, but you can't do it here. Ultra performance, oh yeah, that is... Oh, it becomes more snappy now with the controls, but yeah, that is very blurry. I can just try going with off, and then...
Yeah, well, I mean, I think DLSS Ultra Performance, that was always intended for playing games at 8K, and then at 8K it renders games at 4K, when you have Ultra Performance on. Because I think the DLSS settings, it's always like a percentage of your current resolution, but I forget the exact numbers.
Yeah, this is now native 1080, and I'm getting like 45 FPS-ish. I can also turn on FSR. So this is FSR quality. Then I get 80 FPS. It actually doesn't look that bad. I don't know what like the real render resolution is right now. It's FSR
here we go.
version 2.
So for DLSS, according to Digital Foundry, DLSS performance is 50% of your base resolution, balanced is 57%, and quality is 66%.
Does it look kind of stuttery in the stream right now?
Not that I can see.
Okay. But if I go with like quality DLSS, then I get like 80 frames per second. God, do I remember the secrets?
I mean, I think almost anyone that's played this knows this level like the back of their hand.
Yeah, there's you can tell the difference with ray tracing on and off.
Yep.
Oh god, this area looks completely different.
Oh, well,
This is giving me like a little bit of like Quake 2 RTX vibes, like this specific place. It's kind of funny, like as I quickly switch between ray tracing on and off, like you can kind of see like a fading effect. I think that's like I feel like that's path tracing, like building up data frame by frame, right? I think maybe.
What I would assume.
Oh, I should have ray tracing on. What am I doing? You could have seen that glorious explosion with ray tracing. Oh god. You like Bloom?
I do not like that effect. Toxic slime is...
I don't remember the slime looking like that even without ray tracing.
No, it doesn't.
Is that the vkQuake porting weird stuff?
No, I don't think so. vkQuake actually has like one of its main claims to fame is that it's actually has very liquid rendering that's actually very accurate to the software renderer.
Oh. Are there settings I should look at? Oh, kind of funny that changes the lighting if I switch volumetrics. Vintage? Oh god, oh no, that's the same thing he added to Doom RTX. I kind of hated this. I'm like, I don't know. It just feels wrong to me because like PC CRT monitors weren't this bad. You weren't like hooking up using like composite cables or anything. Like they actually looked pretty darn sharp. Oh, here we go. So this is where I can select like rendering resolution. So it is still an option in this port. Oh, here we go. Now this is graphics. Oh yeah, that also like vastly improved the frame rate going that far down in resolution. But guess I'll not do that.
I never played Quake at this low of resolution. I don't think I went lower than. I don't think I went lower than 640 by 480.
Did you play the game at launch? I feel like you must have had a pretty beefy PC then.
I mean, it was slow. It was very slow.
I don't think I played any like 3D game at that resolution in the 90s. But I also never had like amazing good PCs that time. I remember like going to a friend's house and he was like playing Duke 3D at 740 by 480 and I was like, oh my god, so high res.
I mean, I can't. When I think when I
there's no
played
difference
Quake,
here with and without ray tracing.
I think I only ever played shareware I think back then, and I wouldn't actually get the full version until much later when I would have upgraded to I probably would have had my GeForce 2MX by then.
Oh yeah, I never had. I think it wasn't until like 2002 or something I got like my first 3D accelerator. I like the red lighting. Very spooky.
Yeah, that's very nice. I think one of the reasons I probably didn't play so much Quake 1 back then was because by the time I got like a decent computer, I was probably obsessed with Unreal Tournament.
Oh yeah, that game was really fun. I think I played that in software mode.
I did it first, but like Direct 3D was so much better when it worked. But it didn't always work. Quality, mate. Pure quality.
I think I might prefer the volumetrics setting simple rather than sky. Like the sky, kind of, I don't know.
You think
It just looks weird to me, like this blurry, foggy effect. Is it supposed to be God rays? I'm not even sure like what that is supposed to be. Like I don't know. I'll just turn it off. I'll be rude to turn it off. It just kind of like change the style of the game. Like,
yeah.
To be honest, in this room, I visually, like art style wise, I think I prefer the original renderer.
Well, the thing with Quake is that it didn't really. Quake 1 didn't have colored lighting at all. It was Quake. That was the big thing with Quake 2 was colored lighting.
Yeah.
And I guess what's happening is that the ray tracing is causing the color of the light sources to bounce and transfer to other surfaces, which is why it looks different when you turn it on.
The same way those grenades bounce. Ray traced grenades.
Well, you would hope the light bouncing was happening a lot faster than those grenades.
So I haven't tried it, but the same guy has also made an RT render for Serious Sam.
Oh, it's that guy. I do remember hearing about it, actually. Is there a digital 4D video about the Serious Sam thing?
And he's working on an RT render for Half-Life.
I'll be interested to see how that's going to turn out. I do wish Valve would just open source Gold Source already.
Is Half-Life 2 engine like 100% open source?
No,
Have they open sourced anything?
I don't think they have.
Hmm.
But Gold Source would make the most sense because it would probably have the least issue with third-party libraries, whereas with Half-Life 2 you have like the Havoc physics.
Am I seeing chromatic aberration? That is...
I don't think so. I don't see any in the stream.
Maybe it's not chromatic aberration, but like the sides are blurry. Like if you look at the hallway right now and then compare to in this middle of the screen.
Oh, that's not chromatic aberration. That's something. There's a different name for that effect.
Blurry aberration.
Vignetting.
Isn't that like darkening of the edges of the screen?
Sometimes they use blur instead.
I don't like it. I don't think there's a way to turn it off. Do I have to make my own personal branch of this to some edits? I remember doing that with like the Doom port, so I could get 320p without it using the CRT filter. But in this with Quake, he actually made it like separate. I do get the impression. I think he's using many of the same techniques he did with his Doom ray trace board. Like for instance here, like I think he's like marked. He had like a mask to this texture to indicate, hey, this is emitting light, and he did that with a lot of textures in Doom to like have more light sources. But with Doom, he also went through all the map and just placed new light sources, like all over the place as well. And they're placed in a similar manner as original Doom, like it is one light source per sector, and I think the light is emitting from the middle of the sector, if I recall.
I assume that wouldn't be necessary with Quake because it would have light sources like defined already.
I guess so. I mean, like Quake uses light mapping, but I assume that like you would also have in-game lights that are in the same location, so you could like light like object on the fly. So yeah, I think that does make sense. Looks
Purple. Looks purple.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's taking on the color of the sky. I always wondered why the sky was purple in Quake.
I kind of feel like I might prefer the look of the environments without ray tracing, but I prefer the look of like the enemies and objects with ray tracing, especially with the shadows. Like this just becomes, I don't know, this room just kind of look bland with ray tracing. Maybe fill with volumetrics. So yeah, I guess I could turn it back on. Yeah, I don't know.
Very hazy.
Yeah, very hazy. Oh god, the frame rate tanks here, even with... Oh wait, no, I turned DLSS. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, when I switched Vintex on and off, it turned off the DLSS, that's why the frame rate was kind of poopy there.
Uh-oh.
I'm fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure I chose easy difficulty, so I feel like I'm pretty fine. I'm here to look at pretty pixels, not to get Elden Ring difficulty.
I was surprised when you started playing that. I didn't even know you had the game.
I bought it on a small discount. There was a site selling it for like, I think $40. Which isn't super cheap, but still way cheaper than default price. You can see, like you have to wait quite a few frames before the lighting looks good. Like if I quickly move the camera, you can see like a very noisy lighting for like for a few frames. I really wish I could turn off the effect blurring this side of the screen. I think that just looks ugly. I don't like that effect.
Oh well.
And speaking of which, like when I've been playing Elden Ring, I've been using several mods to turn off stuff like chromatic aberration and vignetting because I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh. Not know that was an issue.
On the bright side, like I was kind of worried of trying Elden Ring because I kept hearing so many people complain about stuttering issues in the game, but it hasn't really been an issue for me. Like I get like a tiny stutter extremely rarely, but it's so minor that it doesn't bother me.
Maybe it was worse at launch. Maybe the patches that the game's been getting have actually done something.
Maybe.
But that is reassuring because the stuttering complaints was one of the reasons I held off from getting Elden Ring. Now I just need the price to come down a bit.
Dark Rage thinks I should replace every texture with my sock puppet. That
Every single one? Not just those faces on the wall?
Everyone. Ooh, look at that reflection! Wow, 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 wow. Whoa, oh, I get it even with the default render. That must be a thing that vkQuake does.
I'm telling you, it doesn't. He's done something else.
Oh, well, I guess, I don't know. Guess it made changes that aren't ray tracing related, but like, I don't know, these reflections look good with and without ray tracing. The explosions look pretty fancy with ray tracing.
Like, I have the base vkQuake installed. I can quickly boot it up and show you a screenshot of how the water looks in vkQuake.
Is it just like the default water?
Yeah. But the thing that vkQuake does is that it successfully recreates the swirling effect on the screen when you're underwater that previously only the software renderer could do. But the actual texture is the same. It's completely opaque. You can't see through it.
Such fancy shadows. I'm curious about RTX Remix when that gets released.
Yeah.
Like, could you do this kind of RTX makeover using only that without having to do gigantic code changes to the game? I fell. I fell. I'm bad at video game.
Yeah, you got that key already. You didn't need to come down here.
Quake is too hard.
There's something else I'm curious about with RTX Remix. Do you need a GeForce card to use the RTX Remix software to make the changes? And on top of that, is the end result usable on any ray tracing capable GPU? Or does it only work on a GeForce card?
Yeah.
They're gonna
Did
get
they
back.
specify like a release date for the thing? I don't. If they
I
did.
I don't recall seeing a date for RTX Remix. So far, the only thing that I'm absolutely certain only works on the new RTX 40 cards is DLSS 3. That's the only thing that's exclusive. Harbol thinks that they said the end result is usable in a Vulkan-capable ray tracing card. Okay.
Okay.
Because we're about a month away from hearing what AMD's answer to RTX 40 series is going to be like. Will they save us from the insane prices, or will they charge just as much?
Spook! Oh, he's above me. I'm sneaky. I've memorized Doom way more than I memorized Quake. I feel like I can do Doom 1 Episode 1 blindfolded, but I can't say the same thing about Quake 1 Episode 1.
That sounds like a stream idea to me.
I mean, it's not that long since I streamed all of Doom 1 Episode 1.
Ah, but you didn't do it with a blindfold.
Oh god.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it, Dark Shadow Rage. There's been some more deep dives on what DLSS 3 actually does, and I have to be honest, besides the massive jump in frame rates, I'm not impressed.
It's like frame insertion, right? Is this
Yeah,
not
like
upscaling? Oh well, it's not
yeah,
only that, yes.
the AI algorithm generates extra frames that go in between two other frames that have been rendered normally.
And you can only use it with the new generation of GeForce cards, DLS3.
Yeah, yeah, it's because of some new additions to the AI hardware on the new cards. So the optical flow accelerator, I think, is what they call it.
I like that with ray tracing, I can just see like a black wall here at the end of the level. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like the overly hazy look. It does look less hazy with volumetrics turned to simple, but then I don't know, it still doesn't look that great in certain scenes. It just looks very. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the same look you get in certain scenes with Quake 2 RTX.
You know what I'd like to see? A completely new original game sort of done in this sort of like low poly style, but it's also fully path traced. So that it could run on. Because then like the developers they'd be able to tweak things and get the lighting to look exactly how they want. Whereas like with mods like this, the way things look is sort of determined by the original assets to a certain degree. Like if Quake was designed with the ray traced lighting from the start, would they have made the sky purple? Maybe not.
So, Oh god. I feel like the water is one of the more impressive things with this port, and that's something that shows up even without the ray tracing. But I noticed one thing is that I should kill this dude, man. So if I turn off ray tracing, the frame rate only slightly goes up. So is it actually still using ray tracing without ray tracing, just that it turns off a bunch of lighting stuff? I don't know.
You
I think
know,
I'm just...
with the ray tracing off, the reflections in the water still look kind of ray traced. It doesn't look like screen space reflections to me.
Yeah, it's not screen space. Like I did the test earlier where I looked way down and I could still see stuff being reflected.
It makes me wonder if it's only turning off like the ray traced like the lighting and the global illumination and all that stuff, but not the reflection, the water reflections. Oh yeah, I think Carvel's looking at DLSS 3 when he's saying that he guesses it wouldn't help for games where input is processed in each real frame. So other game would. Well, so another thing with DLSS 3 is that when you turn it on, it forces on NVIDIA Reflex to reduce input latency. So any game that supports DLSS 3 will now also support Reflex going forward because it's required.
I will say that like one thing. Well, I'm not. I guess I'm not sure if it's DLSS' fault, but the games I've tried where I've tried to use DLSS, I feel like there is sizable input lag compared to playing with it off.
Really?
Like for instance, I am now playing at 80 FPS. Input lag wise, this feels way worse than 80 FPS.
Oh.
But I'm not completely sure why. I'm not sure if it's actually DLSS' fault. But it's something I really recognize with like the Doom RTX thing as well. Like I only got good input delay if I turned off DLSS and turned resolution way down, even though I could get a similar frame rate if I turned DLSS up and also resolution up.
Maybe it is something else, because like there was Digital Foundry, they posted a in-depth DLSS 3 video, and they had input lag results that also included the DLSS 2 with reflex turned off, and the input latency was always lower than just with DLSS off entirely.
Yeah. I don't know. I like games being very responsive and snappy. So that is one thing that I kind of find a bit of a bummer.
No, I said the latency was lower, as in it was better.
Oh, with DLSS on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know why. It like in my experience, it was the opposite. God. Yeah. So right now I turn it to like I turn it to this resolution, and I have DLSS off. The frame rate is the same as the previous settings, but this feels way snappier. I don't know why.
Yeah,
like,
that doesn't make any
yeah.
sense.
Oh god, where am I going? I got a key, right? I think I got a key. Where's the locked door? Is it over
You
there?
have a silver key.
Like I'm playing Quake for the first time.
The Knights of the Angular Table.
When they
Because,
tested DLSS off and had, I mean, on and had lower input, like was the frame rate? Did they test scenarios where the frame rate was like identical?
No, the frame rate was always massively increased with DLSS enabled.
Because the thing is, like, if you have something like a really low frame rate, like the input won't feel, like, it just can't feel great. I like low input delay. It makes me sad when releases that mess it up somehow. Like, I don't know why, but like for instance the Metasog XX port from like 1 or 2 years ago is just absolutely awful with input delay. I have no idea why. Like I booted up the Xbox 360 version to compare, and that's just like miles better.
I still need to try the new version of Xenia Canary, which supposedly improves performance a lot. Also, maybe it's not that important, but I've just noticed we're covering the stats. Can't see health and ammo because the both of us are in the way.
I guess I could move myself slightly. I mean, I'm playing on easy difficulty though, so I feel like I feel like it doesn't matter much.
I suppose not.
Like this is
anyway.
more about showcasing the pixels than my Quake skills. Ah!
Skills.
Oof, he's got ugly feet. Ugh! I never noticed that before. Oh my god! That's just a flat color.
Shaded. Yeah, it's a flat shaded texture.
I think so far, I think I prefer the result with Doom being ray traced than this ray traced. It is still fancy though.
Well, I mean, Doom is more fun than single player at least.
The water does look pretty spiffy.
You have Fluffy 0 health. Excellent.
The water did not look great in Doom ray trace, if I recall. But I feel like that's mostly because of he still used the same method Doom uses of just alternating between like 2 or 3 frames, and that just, yeah, that just looks really weird when you try to add fancy rendering to the water.
It's not the first time that's been done with with Doom liquids either. There have been other attempts to make the liquids look fancy. But it's not just the animation though. It's always weird when it's like you can't swim in it. Oh.
Is this DLSS making this weird blur as a change between weapons?
It's just yeah, I don't know. Try turning it off.
Oh yeah, now it's instant. Oh, that is a funny side effect. Okay, so I was wrong earlier. Like it wasn't lighting being like added over time when I switched renderers. It was DLSS, like having the blur as a change.
Wait, hang on.
I wonder if maybe both renders are doing like. I wonder if like ray tracing is happening behind the scenes all the time, even with it turned off. It would explain why the frame rate is bad either way.
Can you like walk straight into a wall?
Straight into a wall? Like this?
Oh, yeah.
You
That
see
doesn't
the
happen
gun
normally. Yeah, the gun's clipping into a wall. That's not normal. That doesn't usually happen.
Okay, that stained glass looked really good.
Oh.
I'm into that stained glass. I want to find more stained glass. It even looks good without ray tracing with its render.
That reminds me of this glass effect I really like from Half-Life 2. But that was just a shader, that wasn't ray tracing.
Oh, I'm nearly dying on easy difficulty.
These old shooters, they don't fuck around.
Ah! Fiddle with volumes briefly.
Volumes. More than one volume.
There's a thing with ray tracing where if you don't do any bounces, it's effectively the same as direct illumination, just lower performance. I did kind of notice that with with the Doom RT port, there was a setting to define the quantity of bounces. I mean, it still looked fancy, like you still got like fancy shadows and everything with one bounce, but it did like vastly just make it far less impressive. Like it made like shadows much more like harsher. Like when you saw around corners and such, like the lighting just looked way less impressive when it started to one bounce.
And
I mean, like even 0 bounces.
Of course, Doom 2 had no official support, so everything was just bathed in darkness, so there was no light sources placed.
Yeah. It would have been nice if someone actually went through the game and added lighting, or maybe just did some changes to the Doom RT port and just default to using the default lights if they haven't been predefined for the level set. Wow.
Huh!
Am I supposed to jump down here?
I can't quite remember where the silver key door is.
Oh, look at that shiny floor.
And these eldritch monsters certainly keep their castles clean.
Is that like that's a normal map, right?
It looks like it.
So you added a normal map to this like marble floor texture, but everything else seems to be the same, I think. Oh yeah, I did pick up a key at one point. So maybe I picked up a key this path and I just didn't. Ah, we realize it! Oh god, oh Jesus Christ! Stop the murdering! Oh no! Oh no! I haven't been saving.
It must autosave, because otherwise you'd be shotgun starting this map. Have you tried playing with FSR 2.0 to see if it still feels like input laggy, like DLSS does for you?
Did you say FSR?
Yeah.
I can try. I didn't really try FSR besides the very start for a few seconds.
Exactly. We must conduct
Oh no,
science.
this feels way snappy. Like so the frame is actually same as using the DLSS quality, but this is way snappier. Yeah, this is much more responsive.
And is it comparable to your eyes?
I think so. Yeah, I mean this does actually look pretty darn sharp to me. DLSS actually looks blurrier. Mysterious.
And the thing is, like, FSR 2.1 is a thing now, which apparently reduces ghosting to for a certain degree.
I'm not noticing ghosting. Then again, this is like quality setting. Oh, maybe I'll just try FSR if it results in less input lag.
I wonder if it's due to the fact that FSR isn't AI based.
AI is too slow, needs too much time to think.
There's extra processing power.
I remember like one game where I tried FSR and I wasn't impressed at all, but maybe that was FSR version 1. Or maybe it just like somehow works better with the graphics of Quake, I don't know. I remember there was a mod that added FSR to Diablo. That was a thing. It didn't look good. But also like that 2D game, I feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense adding FSR to that style of game. Hello Kenji! Welcome to Ray Tracing!
We're gonna trace the hell out of those things. Okay, so FSR 2.0, right. So yeah, they put out this table, which actually shows you what the different resolutions would be, depending on which setting you have picked.
I got quality right now at 1080p.
So I'll post this table in the chat. So your output resolution is 1080p. That's the resolution that's selected in the menu, right?
Yes.
So that means FSR 2.0 quality is rendering at 720p.
Okay.
If you were to select balance, that would reduce the resolution to 1129 by 635. Performance would bring that down to 960 by 540. And then finally, ultra performance, 640 by 360. Yeah, 360p, let's go.
Well, I mean, if you want it, then sure, let's go. It looks sharper than I expected, but I'm noticing some really weird artifacting, like this dithering on my shotgun now for some reason.
Oh. And then if you're running this at 4K instead, 4K quality would be 1440p, 4K balanced would be 2259 by 1270, 4K performance would be 1080p, and 4K ultra performance would be 720p. Oh, they even got ultra wide statistics in this table. So 1440p ultra wide would be at quality would be 2293 by 960. Then 2024 by 847, then 1720 by 720, and then finally 1147 by 480.
There's a weird, like, fading effect. Is that FSR? No.
Maybe?
No,
No?
I guess this is ray tracing related, like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe that's a bug that behaved in a really weird way, I feel. This is where I started, right? Where's more locked doors? Oh god, oh god. Is there like was a locked door this way? No. Is there something in the water? There's water in the water. Isn't there any classic game you would like to see a ray tracing version of?
Well, I mean, this guy's already working on Half-Life. The original Max Payne might be cool, but I suppose that full-blown remake that Remedy's working on will probably have some ray tracing integration since it's being made on the same engine as Control. Honestly, just bring it on. There's more classic games, more like low poly 3D games with path
Oh god.
tracing, please.
Try to kill me.
I mean, Descent, even though I've never really played it, that could be cool with.
Yeah, that could work. I like with Doom art, like ray tracing. I was surprised how well it worked with sprites. So I kind of wouldn't mind seeing more attempts with 3D games using sprites. So yeah, like as Kenji said, Dookie Nuki.
And hell, Duke Nukem, like people have released 3D models for Duke Nukem that look okay, and well, okay, they're not amazing, but they look better than the 3D models I've seen attempted for fucking Doom. Good God, those look terrible.
The 3D models I've seen for both Doom and Duke 3, I don't think I liked either.
Oh, but voxels.
Voxels are cool. Oh yeah, I bet 3D ray traced voxels would be super cool.
I wonder if that would be less or more demanding than like applying that lighting to traditional 3D models. So
I would imagine that if you like parse the data correctly, it should be the same. I would assume. The thing is, like ray tracing, they want like 3D geometry. I feel like there's no way to optimize it with how voxels are normally structured. So I would assume the best method is to, at runtime or before running the game, just convert the voxels into normal 3D data, like 3D meshes. Ah!
Speaking of
It's a trap!
Speaking of the Doom voxel models, that guy is very diligently continuing his work. I think the last I saw, the chain gunners of walk cycle was finished, or at least an initial version of it was finished.
As much as I love voxels, there's just something about those voxels character models that just... it doesn't look quite right to me. They look thick, they look so thick.
Well, I mean, we're taking something that was previously completely paper thin. I think that's just going to happen. Not to mention, like, there's some like artist interpretation there. Like, he's having to make guesses on how things would look.
Maybe he just likes them thick.
There's something about shooting something that's very chunky that's satisfying.
Magic Carpet ray traced?
I was wondering when we'd hear that.
I so it says Soul Blade ray traced? That makes me wonder, so with
That's...
RTX Remix, could you use that with emulators? With emulated games?
As long as I had a compatible renderer. I think they said RTX Remix only work with
8 and
DirectX
9?
Yeah.
And like 9 is kinda used for a billion things like that. That was common for many, many years. I mean, I feel like it's still like semi-common.
I've just had a thought. There isn't a fighting game out right now that uses ray tracing, right? That has it as an option.
I wouldn't be surprised if Harada's gonna tweet now and say, actually Tekken 7 used ray tracing for the past 7 years, you guys just didn't notice and realize it. But no, I think you're right.
Yeah. Carbol, yeah, they've said that the initial release of RTX Remix will only work with games that use DirectX 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And that support for other renders might come later. Like, I think OpenGL is probably the big one it needs to work with.
Yeah, that would be nice for them to add support for. My mod manager can be ray traced.
And then I guess DirectX 11 would be like the other big one, because there's a lot of games on DirectX 11. Although I think they also said it only works with games that use forward rendering. So...
So that would mean RE5 but not RE6.
I guess so. So maybe DirectX 11 wouldn't... Cause I don't know of too many forward rendered DirectX 11 games. Most of them are deferred.
I mean, there's a lot of deferred DirectX 9 games as well, right?
Perhaps? I mean, I guess you did just say RE6, and I'm pretty sure that's still DX9.
But I mean, I also imagine that once RTX Remix gets released, there's probably gonna be like a billion limitations that'll be apparent that Nvidia just didn't wanna admit, because it just seems like really difficult to make that work, that much stuff as possible.
Well, that's marketing, the power of marketing. Market it like it's a wonderful thing with no flaws. And then the flaws get realized later. You said you were playing on easy?
I'm pretty sure I chose easy. Maybe I chose the wrong difficulty? I thought I chose easy.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to take only one zap on easy.
Oh, maybe did I like re-enter the difficulty portals without thinking much over it? That's very
I don't know.
possible. I guess I don't need to keep zapping him now as he's dead. Yeah, Carbon, I'm still pretty excited about checking out RTX Remix when it gets released, no matter if it's gonna be super limited.
No matter what.
Maybe I'll play a little bit of another episode too. Is there like one that has like a vastly different art style? I forget.
Episode 4 has a lot of blue areas. Yeah, kind of like that corridor you went into, which is actually the second episode, but episode... Although the blue areas are very late in episode 4. And also episode 4 has spawns in it, which are...
Oh! Oh, I see. I
What?
think I see a normal mapping here as well. Oh, sorry, I was just vomiting when you said spawns, but like, just noticed. I
Yeah.
think there's some normal mapping here as well. I think
Spawns
very
are
subtle.
the worst. Why did they... Why id Software? Why did you make the spawn? They're so bad.
I don't know. I just want us to suffer. Well, here I can definitely notice like lighting building up over time. I don't see it happening as I switch renders, so I think behind the scenes it must still be calculating the path tracing stuff when I use the non-RT renderer. Well, that is kind of distracting in this area, like the noisiness that I see for a split second. The water looks so good though.
The noise.
Tomb Raider ray traced.
Yeah, that may be low quality enough to be interesting.
I want another classic Tomb Raider game. Or maybe I should actually play all of the classic Tomb Raider games, since I haven't actually played all of them. Oh god, oh, that's a funky secret.
Wait, what? Quake 1 has fake walls?
I guess.
I did not know about that secret. And I'm pretty sure it's the first time I've ever seen a fake wall in Quake.
Did you play much of the Prodeus game?
I did not play too much of it on Game Pass, but I played enough of it. So I was like, yeah, I want to play this when it's finished. And well, now it's finished, so I will probably buy it at some point.
It's pretty good. I think it's my favorite like new retro style shooter that I played.
Is that because it's the only one that has co-op?
I guess that helps. I mean, I guess I also haven't actually tried that many of them. But actually, I should play through that Witch Haven-like game I tried some months ago. That one seemed really promising.
Well, as I'm sure I've made clear several times before, my favorite of those types of games is still Dusk. But I do need to play some more. I need to give a Medieval a more shot. I think Gar's been playing that and uploading videos of it lately.
Such fancy water.
You are immersed in it.
Oh yeah, I don't like that noisy effect. It looks so
Yeah,
weird.
it's bothering me. It's like someone's made a mess all over the floor.
I don't think there's any settings that I can fill with to make that look better. I assume that if I turn FSR stuff up, like, surely it wouldn't matter. Well, I just make it more apparent, I feel. Maybe I turn resolution way down. Maybe that'll hide it. No, still very apparent. Like a disco room for like a split second. What about CRT? No, still apparent. Oh god, the CRT effect, I don't like it. Logan says his Dusk's gameplay is brilliantly polished.
This is correct.
I haven't tried or seen much of it, but it's like Quake inspired. I feel like based on the screenshots, it looks very Quake to me.
It definitely has quite a bit of Quake to it.
Silver key card.
I wonder what would happen if you loaded custom levels with this port. Would it work?
Yeah, hopefully it works unlike the Doom source port with ray tracing. I feel like that's probably the biggest bummer with Doom ray trace is that you kinda can only play Doom 1 and get proper lighting.
Because vkQuake, that's actually a fork of QuakeSpasm. So it supports, and QuakeSpasm supports very advanced custom levels. Like it supports Arcane Dimensions, which, look, I'm just going to say this right now. If people have not played Arcane Dimensions, you should play Arcane Dimensions. It's really fucking good.
I can remember, like when he was working on the Doom ray tracing source port, he really started with the GC Doom as base, but he found the render too complicated to work with, so he went with PRB instead.
Yeah, I always found it curious why he didn't do GC Doom, but now we know.
Maybe he should have added the same option as with Quake 2 RTX, where you can change the skylighting. You can change like Earth-like skylighting. Maybe that would make these scenes look less weird, because they're just like they're just this pink-purple haze, and I feel like it just looks kind of funky. Well, he tried. Well, maybe that's enough of a look at Quake RTX. It does look fun. I think it's fun to see like retro games be ray traced. I feel like that's also one of the few places where you can have like a fully realized ray tracing render and like a playable frame rate, because do this with modern games and it's way too demanding.